Time now for the Friend Zone. We pull the good people at the back of the show. We invite our friends within the building here at Fox onto the program. And tonight we're joined by really one of the best people in Washington, D.C., Shannon Bream. She's our Supreme Court reporter and expert and genius lawyer. So, Shannon, the new Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture opened recently. Lots of people like it. But there's one thing missing from this museum. What is it?
Yeah, there has been a lot of controversy over the fact that the second African-American justice to sit on the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas, he doesn't have an exhibit there. He is mentioned in an exhibit about Anita Hill and commenting on her bravery in coming forward and testifying against him in the Senate. So he is mentioned as part of that big scandal, which a lot of people will say you go through the record, you go through the facts. A lot of the testimony has been completely rebutted and discredited, and yet that's really his only mention there. And so lawmakers, folks on the Hill, they've raised a lot of questions. A lot of people are going to the major donors, including Oprah Winfrey, Target, FedEx, all these different groups, and saying, listen, we need to know if this is going to be rectified, what's going to happen here, because we think that's a glaring omission when we're talking about African-American history. And if you know his story, Tucker, it is amazing where he came from. Absolute poverty to rise to go to some of the best universities in the world and to sit on our country's highest court.
I know. He grew up not even a native English speaker. He spoke Gullah.
Right.
He can pinpoint Georgia. No, he's an amazing guy and one of the nicest people ever. So he's not described as a trailblazer, a leader, or anything like that?
No.
Just ignored?
Right. Well, the interesting thing is, well, like I said, he's there as a mention on the exhibit about Anita Hill. And what the people speaking for the Smithsonian did have to say is there are many compelling stories about African Americans who have been successful in various fields. They said we can't include everybody in our inaugural exhibit, so we want to know at some point, because they just opened, is there going to be another exhibit? Will there be some changes to the exhibits? We're going to keep watching. We'd like to know. And I'll tell you, there have been people who have, from the left and the right, who have criticized this and say, listen, regardless of what you think about his legal philosophy or positions, we still think he's a major historical figure in this country, and he should be included. So we'll see.
So it's on the mall, which is public land, and it's the Smithsonian, which is not exactly a public institution, but it's a crypto-public institution, as I understand it.
Yeah.
So the Congress, the public, taxpayers have no recourse? I mean... Well,
that's the interesting part, and that's what a lot of the lawmakers are raising questions about. Now, a lot of private funding came here, but $540 million, I believe, was the price tag, and we're told about 50% of that came from U.S. taxpayers. So you and I are paying for this, and that's why a lot of people think we should have this question answered, because it's public money that's paying for this. And if you're going to do what some people would argue is a snub of someone who's sitting on the Supreme Court and is a trailblazer, somebody who's made history, there should be some answers for that. Senator Ted Cruz this week authored another letter. There's a resolution on the Hill. He is asking Smithsonian leaders to fix this and saying, we need some answers now. It hasn't come to our satisfaction, and because there are hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayer money, we feel like there should be an answer.
So funny. I have the same thought every morning when I get in the car and turn on Morning Edition on NPR.
You love it. You love it.
For this. Shannon Bream, you are the best. It is great to see you. Thank you for that.